billion people, and there's a single country that hosts more than 1.4 billion of us: China. As the second most populous and the second largest economy on Earth, this country needs no introduction. With over 5,000 years of history, China has been thriving both economically and culturally since the beginning of civilization. It's no wonder, then, that some of the most surprising and world-shaking discoveries have come from this country, challenging what we thought we knew. With a landmass covering about 1/14 of the Earth's surface, China is home to thousand-year-old mysteries that scientists are still trying to crack. This country is so massive it could nearly cover the entire continent of Europe. As massive as the country is currently now, it still is one with the most territorial disputes. As a matter of fact, your view of China might depend on where you're from. If you're from a country with territorial disputes with this country, you might see it as a formidable rival. For instance, its actions against Taiwan, its claims over the Senkaku Islands with Japan, and its aggressive stance in the South China Sea against the Philippines, Vietnam, and other Southeast Asian nations have been grabbing international headlines and stirring up tensions. On the other hand, for countries that benefit from China's aid and investments, the nation might be seen as a powerful ally. Between 2000 and 2021, China provided a whopping $1.34 trillion in grants and loans for over 20,000 projects across 165 low- and middle-income countries. Many believe this is part of China's strategy to expand its global influence and solidify its presence on the world stage. No matter how you view China, one thing is undeniable. This colossal country has given humanity some of its most groundbreaking innovations, spanning from ancient times to today. Just a sample of these are the legendary 4 great inventions: the compass, gunpowder, paper making, and printing. These technologies, which revolutionized the world, only made their way to Europe by the end of the Middle Ages, nearly 1,000 years after. But China's role in advancing human progress doesn't end there. This country is also home to some of the most groundbreaking archaeological discoveries that have shattered the scientific community due to its implications. Let's now dive into these fascinating and mysterious finds, shall we? Sinking land crisis. China is facing a grim crisis. The land beneath their feet is sinking. A new study reveals that nearly half of China's urban areas are sinking faster than 3 millimeters per year, affecting 29% of the country's population. That's 406 million people living on slowly sinking ground. Even more alarming is that 16% of urban areas are losing more than 10 millimeters of elevation per year, meaning 67 million people are rapidly sinking. While these numbers may seem negligible compared to its total population, they add up quickly. In 100 years, a quarter of China's coastal land could sit below sea level. You might wonder, with all the highly developed infrastructures in this country, what's causing this phenomenon? Well, there are 2 main factors at play. First, infrastructure itself. China has 600 million buildings, and their sheer weight is pressing down on the ground. Second, groundwater depletion. Cities are excessively pumping water from underground, creating hollow spaces that cause the land to sink. A report on the country's water problems estimates that 70% of the population relies on groundwater as their main source of drinking water, and 40% of its farmland depends on groundwater for irrigation. The issue of land subsidence in the country is more than just a slow sinking. It can result in abrupt collapses. This harsh reality became all too clear in Tianjin when massive cracks split the streets, compelling thousands of residents to evacuate their homes. This city is one of the fastest sinking places in China, but it's not alone. Beijing, the capital, and Shanghai, a major center for finance and manufacturing, are also among the worst-hit areas. But surely Xi Jinping is not sitting idly by. Beijing has introduced new laws to control groundwater pumping, and Shanghai, along with its surrounding areas, has been actively limiting water withdrawal. Despite these efforts, many other cities have not received the same level of attention. While China's coastal regions have constructed physical barriers to help retain water, the problem of sinking land extends much further inland. Urban cities, some of which are sinking even faster than coastal areas, urgently need similar attention and measures. The question is, will they be able to rise above this sinking land crisis? World's deepest holes. China is known for shattering insane world records, and now they're aiming to break one underground. Literally. They're planning to dig some of the world's deepest holes. But what motivates them? Is this a true exploration that could revolutionize our understanding of the planet? Or are they on the hunt for the next precious finite resource? In southwest China's Sichuan Basin, some of the country's top engineers are undertaking an incredible feat, digging a hole over 30,000 feet deep, about 9,000 meters. That's deeper than any ocean and taller than Mount Everest. Meanwhile, in the northwest Tarim Basin, they're starting another project aiming to go even deeper, 36,000 feet, or around 11,000 meters, which is 0.9% of Earth's diameter. If they succeed, these will be among the deepest holes ever dug by humans. So why is China digging so deep? They have two main goals. First, it's all about scientific exploration. Imagine the Earth's crust as a timeline of our planet's history, with each layer revealing a different part of the story. By drilling into these layers, they're uncovering Earth's secrets bit by bit. This could provide essential data for geoscience research, giving us a better understanding of Earth's structure and evolution. This project might not only change what we know about science, but also help us understand environmental risks better. By examining the deep layers, scientists can learn more about hazards like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, helping us prepare for them more effectively. The second goal is not surprising. It's commercial. Deep beneath the surface, there may be valuable energy reserves. If China can access these resources, it could secure a vital energy source to fuel its future growth. China has just announced a major milestone with regards to this endeavor. They've already reached 10,000 meters in their drilling project, but the journey is about to get even tougher. As they go deeper, they'll face extreme challenges like temperatures soaring above 200 degrees Celsius and formation pressures exceeding 130 megapascals. With each additional meter, the difficulty will increase exponentially. However, this isn't the first time such an ambitious endeavor has been attempted, nor is it the deepest hole ever dug. That record belongs to Russia's Kola super-deep borehole. Begun in 1970, it reached a depth of 12,230 meters by 1989, but drilling ceased in 1992. The project faced extreme temperatures of 180 degrees Celsius, and with the collapse of the Soviet Union, it was abandoned 3 years later. The United States and Germany have also tried their hand at deep drilling. The US kicked off Project Mohole in the early 1960s, but it got shut down because of skyrocketing costs. Germany gave it a go in 1990, but their project didn't last long either. Will China succeed where others have failed? Only time will tell. Mysterious lost civilization. On the fringe of the Mu'us Desert in northern Shanxi province, ancient stone walls rise from the landscape. For years, villagers thought these remnants were part of the Great Wall, but when archaeologists examined them intensively, they unearthed a hidden treasure, something far older and infinitely more complex than anyone had imagined. It was then revealed to experts that they've unearthed the lost city of Shimao. Excavations revealed more than 6 miles of defensive walls encircling a 230-foot-high pyramid. Inside the heart of the pyramid, they uncovered painted murals, jade artifacts, and grim evidence of human sacrifice. Carbon dating revealed that this site dates back 4,300 years, nearly 2,000 years earlier than the oldest section of the Great Wall. The discovery of the site left archaeologists baffled, as Chinese civilization was believed to have first emerged in the Central Plains around 500 years after Shimao's founding. The most fascinating aspect is that this once powerful kingdom was entirely absent from ancient textual records. No ancient manuscripts guiding Chinese archaeology mention this sophisticated city. To say that this civilization had an advanced architectural know-how would be an understatement. They constructed an elongated pyramid with 20 levels atop the highest hill in the area, providing protection against more aggressive adversaries. This tower, visible from every vantage point in the city, stands about half as tall as the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, which was built around the same period in 2250 BC. However, Shimao's base is 4 times larger. To protect themselves further, Shimao's elites inhabited the top tier of the pyramid, which included a 20-acre palatial complex with a water reservoir, craft workshops, and likely ritual temples. This provided an additional layer of security for the Shimao aristocracy. The most gruesome discovery at Shimao was found beneath the city's eastern wall, where 80 human skulls were grouped in 6 separate pits, all without skeletons. 2 pits near the east gate, the primary entry to the city, contained exactly 24 skulls each. This arrangement suggests a ritual beheading during the laying of the wall's foundation, marking the oldest known instance of human sacrifice in Chinese history. Forensic scientists determined that nearly all the victims were young girls, likely prisoners from an opposing faction. Despite the remarkable complexity and artistry of this ancient civilization, it was abruptly and mysteriously abandoned. Fortunately, some clues help unravel this puzzle. It wasn't an earthquake, flood, or plague. While a war might have driven them away, scientists believe climate change played a pivotal role. Historical records point to a rapid shift to a drier and cooler climate between 2000 and 1700 BC. Lakes dried up, forests disappeared, and deserts expanded. These factors compelled the Shimao people to migrate to unknown regions, leaving behind a legacy that would be admired and studied for generations. Mysterious hanging coffins. In the remote hills of southwest China, there are objects hanging precariously to cliffs, leading to one of China's greatest mysteries. These are said to be coffins left by the mysterious Bo tribe, who were brutally wiped out. Along with their sudden disappearance, the secrets of their unique burial practices vanished. 3,000 years ago, the Bo people thrived in the Sichuan and Yunnan provinces. Yet, their story is scarcely recorded in history. Fast forward to 1573, around 450 years ago, when the Ming dynasty rose to power in China. The Ming Imperial Army launched a brutal campaign, exterminating all known members of the Bo tribe. However, some say a few Bo managed to escape, fleeing to neighboring regions. To avoid detection, they changed their names and blended into local populations. The hanging coffins of this tribe have puzzled researchers for years, leaving them searching for answers. These ancient coffins aren't limited to just one cliff, but are scattered across numerous small and large cliffs, hanging at dizzying heights of 100 to 400 feet. So far, 131 of these mysterious hanging coffins have been discovered, some dating back over 3,000 years. These coffins also come in a variety of shapes and sizes, but most are remarkable for being crafted from a single piece of wood. Many of these coffins originally had bronze covers and were left unpainted. They rest on beams driven into the cliffside, are placed on projecting outcrops of rock, or are tucked away in high, seemingly inaccessible caves. The task of scaling such heights on limestone cliffs, setting up wooden planks, and lifting these several 100-kilogram coffins would be daunting even with today's modern equipment. So, how was it done thousands of years ago? Could it be, as legend has it, that they had the ability to fly? It seems we don't have any flying tribe people after all. Researchers have made significant progress in solving this mystery. They now believe it's very likely that the coffins were lowered using ropes from above. This theory is supported by telltale rope marks found on the cliffs. Whether or not we've truly unlocked the mystery behind the Bo people's unique burial practices, one thing remains clear. The creativity and ingenuity of this ancient tribe are undeniable. The mightiest primates. 2 million years ago, southern China was a paradise for apes. Among these primates was the largest the world has ever seen, Gigantopithecus blacki, affectionately known as Giganto. Living up to its name, this colossal primate stood about 3 meters tall and weighed around 250 kilograms. However, around 200,000 years ago, Giganto suddenly vanished, leaving behind one of the greatest unresolved mysteries in paleontology. The most intriguing aspect of this colossal ape is the scarcity of its fossil record, represented by only a few thousand teeth and 4 jawbones. Remarkably, nothing from the neck down has ever been found. Experts are eagerly searching for Giganto bones below the neck, as these discoveries would provide paleontologists with a much clearer understanding of Giganto's size, appearance, and even how it walked. Adding to the puzzle is the sudden disappearance of Gigantopithecus from the fossil record at a time when other primates were flourishing. Where did these giants go, and what led to their downfall? One prominent theory suggests that Giganto went extinct because it couldn't adapt as the forests started to decline. When their preferred fruit-bearing plants became scarce, they made the fatal mistake of relying on less nutritious foods like twigs and bark. This limited their diet and, coupled with their large and less mobile bodies, restricted their foraging range. Unlike the agile orangutans that could move across vast areas in search of food, Giganto struggled to find sustenance, leading to their eventual demise. The story of this mighty ape's extinction teaches us a powerful lesson about the importance of adaptability, no matter how strong you are. It's a lesson we must take to heart as we confront the looming threat of the sixth mass extinction. Hyper-realistic robots. In today's modern world, robots are everywhere. But in the northeastern coastal city of Dalian, China, something truly remarkable is happening at the X-Robots factory. Engineers there are crafting the next generation of humanoid robots, with a special focus on perfecting facial expressions and emotional responses. These robots can precisely mimic head movements, smiles, and other facial reactions. This extraordinary mimicry is made possible by tiny motors strategically placed within the robots' heads, allowing them to replicate human expressions with stunning accuracy. If you think that's impressive, just wait until you hear what the engineers are working on next. They're harnessing artificial intelligence to enable these robots to recognize and express emotions, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in robotics. The developers at the factory assert that humanoid robots represent the most complex category of robotic products. Convinced to buy one? Well, it comes at a hefty price. Building one of these advanced machines can take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, with a staggering price of $200,000. Engineers of these marvels believe that these humanoid robots would play crucial roles in healthcare, education, psychological counseling, and various other industries, transforming the way we interact with technology and enhancing our daily lives in unprecedented ways. While many see humanoid robots as the future of human-machine collaboration, there are growing concerns about their prevalence. The fear extends beyond robots taking over people's jobs. It touches on something more troubling, straight out of science fiction, their potential to misbehave. What if those sci-fi scenarios come true, where lifelike robots with advanced abilities end up causing harm if they malfunction or get misused? This scary thought shows why tech companies need to do more than just make robots that mimic humans. They must also ensure these humanoid robots are used responsibly, safeguarding against any potential threats. Unopened tomb of the first emperor. In 1974, farmers made a remarkable archaeological find in a seemingly ordinary field in Shanxi province. As they dug, they uncovered clay fragments depicting a human figure, which turned out to be just the beginning. Subsequent archaeological excavations revealed that the field concealed a series of pits containing a vast assembly of life-sized terracotta figures, including soldiers, war horses, acrobats, esteemed officials, and various other animals. This turned out to be one of the most significant discoveries in the history of archaeology. The vast terracotta army was found to be guarding the nearby mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. Born on February 18, 259 BC, this powerful emperor took control of his kingdom at just 22 years old. Leading formidable armies, he conquered the 6 remaining independent kingdoms of the late Warring States period, unifying China in 221 BC. In doing so, he ended centuries of political turmoil, constant warfare, and relentless bloodshed. Known for his relentless pursuit of immortality, the emperor had ambitious visions for his life beyond. Striving to solidify his status as a cosmic ruler in the afterlife, he ordered the creation of an entire realm to accompany him into the next world, an unparalleled endeavor. Situated at the heart of his tomb, the opulent mausoleum of the emperor is believed to have contained a kingdom of abundant treasures for the life after, concealed and protected by his now globally renowned terracotta army. Although extensive portions of the necropolis surrounding the mausoleum have been excavated and studied, the tomb of the emperor himself remains sealed. Despite the immense curiosity and speculation surrounding it, no one has seen this tomb for over 2 millennia, ever since the powerful emperor was laid to rest within its walls. Much of our knowledge about this tomb comes from the ancient historian Sima Qian, who wrote about it 2 centuries after its construction. According to him, the mausoleum took 700,000 men almost 4 decades to build. He described how the craftsmen who constructed the mechanical devices and knew the secrets of the tomb were trapped inside to ensure they could not divulge its treasures. After the funeral ceremonies, the inner passageway was blocked, and the outer gate was lowered, trapping the workers and craftsmen inside forever. The tomb is said to be filled with rare artifacts and priceless treasures, with rivers of pure mercury allegedly flowing through the recreated city. Opening the tomb is believed to pose immediate, life-threatening dangers, as it is rumored to be rigged with traps designed to eliminate intruders. Even if these traps fail, the most formidable threat is a flood of toxic liquid mercury that could engulf anyone attempting to excavate the site. While this might seem like an empty warning, scientific investigations have measured mercury levels around the tomb and found concentrations significantly higher than those typically found in ordinary soil. Thus, the mystery surrounding the emperor's tomb remains intact to this day. Perhaps future technological advancements will enable us to study the site more closely while still honoring its sanctity. Mysterious megalithic caves. In June 1994, 4 farmers in Longyu, Zhejiang Province, China, made an astonishing discovery at Fenghuang Hill, a series of 24 vast man-made caverns, now known as the Longyu Caves. So extraordinary are these structures that some consider them the 9th wonder of the ancient world. Each of these mysterious caves covers more than 1,000 square feet. The 5 large caverns, distinct from each other, range in size from 18 to 34 meters and reach up to 20 meters in height. Each features supporting pillars and uniquely curved shapes, with striking ripple-like imprints marking the walls and ceilings. The most fascinating aspect of these caves is the uniform tool marks on the walls, each angled precisely at 60 degrees. Such consistency suggests the use of advanced machinery or extraordinarily precise manual labor. This leads to intriguing questions. Who built these massive structures, and for what purpose? Addressing these questions baffled scientists, as there are no historical records, inscriptions, tools, or human remains to provide clues. This lack of evidence has fueled a range of theories, suggesting everything from advanced ancient civilizations to extraterrestrial involvement. When you visit the site, one thing that would readily come into your mind is the massive debris or spoil heaps as a result of excavating these caverns. Yet, the sheer volume of rock that must have been removed is mysteriously absent, with no trace of it to be found anywhere. As you wander through the ancient ruins, you can't help but wonder where all that rock went. Adding to the mystery, the caves were completely filled with water and devoid of any aquatic life when they were first discovered. This unusual condition has sparked speculation that they might be remnants of a cataclysmic flood. The lack of salt residue or sea life inside the caves points to significant environmental transformations over thousands of years. Archaeologists have discovered glazed clay pots within the silt on the cavern floors, dating back to the Western Han Dynasty, between 206 BC and 23 AD. This suggests that the caves were constructed more than 2,000 years ago. The exact purpose of these caves remains a topic of debate. Some of the possibilities that they're looking at range from their use as ancient quarries, a mausoleum, storage facilities, Taoist sanctuaries, water reservoirs, secret military bases, a royal residence, or a ritual site for offerings to deities and ancestors. Today, the Longyu Caves stand as a testament to the ingenuity and craftsmanship of an ancient civilization whose identity remains unknown. Despite significant advancements in technology and understanding, many questions about the Longyu Caves remain unanswered. Experts are still puzzled by the methods used to carve the caves, the purpose of the intricate decorations, and the techniques employed to ensure their stability.
Covering a mere 22,145 square kilometers, Israel may be geographically small, but its significance to 3 major global religious groups is immense. In the modern Jewish state, the importance goes beyond being just the promised land for Jews. It stands as the sole nation where they constitute a majority of the populace. Christians regard Israel as the Holy Land due to its association with the life and crucifixion of Jesus. Meanwhile, for Muslims, Jerusalem holds profound significance as the place where Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven. The world is on the edge of its seat as it closely observes the unfolding events in Israel. What has everyone spellbound is the central role Israel plays in the apocalyptic prophecies detailed in the Bible. During the Second Coming, our Lord will not return to just any country. He will govern from the throne of David in Jerusalem, overseeing a world of nations who hold faith in him. As a matter of fact, Numerous scholars contend that the ongoing events in this Middle Eastern nation are aligning with the prophetic visions outlined in the Bible. They propose that the world is undergoing deliberate preparations for the rise of a new leader, promising to usher in an era of peace, particularly in the face of unprecedented crises, the Antichrist. The Antichrist is seen as the complete opposite and biggest enemy of Christ in Christian beliefs. It is believed that before the Last Judgment, he will wield dreadful power and influence. This anticipated figure will strive to unite the diverse religions of the world under a banner of inclusivity and love. He will initially present himself as a peacemaker and financial genius, only to evolve into an immensely powerful dictator. His eloquence and persuasive oratory will have a profound impact on global sentiments, winning the hearts of people worldwide. The Bible describes him as a performer of supernatural feats, making him incredibly convincing in his narrative. According to biblical interpretations, the Antichrist will emerge from the European coalition. Early in his career, he is said to seize power over 3 nations, subsequently consolidating authority over the European coalition and eventually exerting dominion over the entire world. His strategy to attain global control involves providing a license, often referred to as the Mark of the Beast, which regulates economic transactions. This license is established to control the world economy, dictating eligibility for essential activities such as buying and selling. To obtain this license, individuals are required to worship the beast or the Antichrist. Bible texts discuss the Antichrist in connection to Israel to a significant extent. This powerful figure will initiate a covenant with Israel at the outset of his career, promising to shield them from their Arabic adversaries. Consequently, Israel relaxes its guard, focuses on economic recovery, and is lulled into a sense of peace. However, at the end of 3.5 years, the Antichrist reneged on the covenant, violating the temple and nullifying the peace treaty. He desecrates the temple, eliminating all furnishings and installing a self-idolizing statue in the Holy of Holies, commanding universal worship. Nevertheless, Satan's dominion over earth will come to an end, both directly and indirectly through the Antichrist, with a second coming of Christ, a prophesied event that will unfold in Israel. However, Israel's importance transcends biblical prophecies. With a rich and dynamic history dating back to pre-biblical times, the country has emerged as a focal point in archaeological discoveries that have profoundly influenced the course of human history. Certain findings have a chilling effect on researchers, challenging our established beliefs due to their unsettling nature. In modern-day Israel, situated along the Mediterranean coast, lies the remnants of the ancient seaport of Ashkelon. Here, a horrifying revelation unfolded during an exploration of one of the city's sewers by archaeologist Ross Voss. Among the discoveries were numerous small bones initially presumed to belong to chickens. However, further meticulous examination established these tiny remains as human, tracing back to the ancient Roman period. This revelation has become a paramount discovery, marking one of the largest mass graves of infants ever excavated. It has brought to the forefront a prevailing hypothesis among archaeologists that the ancient Romans may have practiced extensive infanticide. Despite the Romans being advanced in many ways, their views on childbirth and parental duties were quite outdated. In Roman society, when a baby was born, they weren't seen as fully human right away. This belief made it acceptable to abandon unwanted babies, usually outdoors, to face the elements without direct harm. Instead of directly killing them, they believed in leaving the fate of these infants to the gods, thinking it was their divine choice. If a baby managed to survive, it was seen as a sign of the gods' will. On the other hand, if the baby didn't make it, they believed it was destiny. This belief was deeply ingrained in their culture, illustrated by the tale of Romulus and Remus. The twins were believed to be the offspring of Mars, the god of war, and they faced the grim fate of being sentenced to death by drowning in the river Tiber. Fortunately, they were cared for and nurtured by wolves, ultimately founding the illustrious city of Rome. This belief system reinforced the notion of overcoming challenges for survival and regarded death as a natural aspect of life. After thoroughly digging at the site, it was clear that around 100 infant bodies were buried together. The bodies found by Voss didn't show signs of being left outside. They appeared healthy before they passed away. This raised a disturbing question. Could someone have caused harm to these infants? Researchers couldn't figure out the reason behind this troubling act, but the evidence strongly hinted that these infants were not just left alone. They were sadly and intentionally brought to an end. However, there are some artifacts in the area that might explain the reason behind the mass grave. The sewer housing the remains was situated beneath an ancient bathhouse featuring Greek inscriptions inviting individuals to enter and enjoy, a location associated with Ashkelon's red light district. In ancient Rome, women who worked in the flesh trade and found themselves unexpectedly pregnant often decided to have the baby rather than go through dangerous abortions. Some experts think these women may have left their unwanted babies right under the place where they worked, likely because of their difficult situations. After a thorough analysis of the remains, researchers determined that a substantial majority of the infant bones belonged to males. This finding challenged the conventional belief that boys were more highly valued in ancient societies. Archaeological evidence pertaining to the pivotal Battle of Jerusalem around 2,000 years ago, just before the Second Temple's devastating destruction, has been unearthed at the city of David. Arrowheads and stone catapult balls were discovered along the primary thoroughfare connecting the Pool of Siloam to the temple through the city gates. The artifacts unearthed along the pilgrimage road bear witness to the climactic and fierce confrontation between the Roman military and the Jewish insurgents entrenched within the city. This conflict ultimately resulted in the violent destruction of Jerusalem. Within the layer of destruction, archaeologists unearthed a significant number of coins that were minted during the brief 4-year revolt before Rome's takeover of Jerusalem. It raises the question, why invest significant time, energy, and resources in minting coins during such a crisis? The answer lies in the inscriptions on these coins. Phrases like, "For the freedom of Zion" can be found, which indicates that even in the seemingly hopeless struggle against Rome, the Jewish people maintained their belief, hope, and prayers that future generations would discover these coins and learn about the sacrifices made in their quest for freedom. Beneath the road, there exists an ancient drainage channel that served a crucial role in the days of the Second Temple, a clandestine refuge for Jewish rebels evading pursuit by Roman soldiers. Remarkably, this concealed channel has yielded a trove of artifacts, including cooking pots, oil lamps, an extensive collection of bronze coins from the Great Revolt, and notably, a sword once wielded by a Roman legionnaire. While traditionally credited to Herod the Great, recent scholarly investigations suggest that the road's construction actually took place after Herod's era, during the governance of Roman officials in Jerusalem. It is quite likely that the construction of the road was authorized and overseen by the Roman governor Pontius Pilate, infamous for his involvement in the crucifixion of Jesus. In a recent archaeological find, researchers unearthed an artifact indicating the ancient inhabitants of the coastal town of Ashkelon had the ability to catch even enormous sharks. This evidence comes in the form of a sizable bronze fishhook. Remarkably, at 6,000 years old, it stands as one of the most ancient metal fishhooks ever found. This discovery not only aligns with the well-known occupation of the disciples as fishermen, but also resonates with references to fishhooks in Old Testament scriptures, such as the Book of Amos. Measuring an impressive 2.5 inches in length, the researchers suggest that this hook likely served in capturing substantial marine creatures. Dating back to the Chalcolithic period, approximately spanning from 4,500 to 3,300 BCE, this substantial hook holds the distinction of being one of the earliest instances where copper was utilized in crafting fishhooks. The widespread use of copper during the Chalcolithic era marked an innovative leap, as earlier fishhooks were predominantly fashioned from bone. Furthermore, the hook's considerable size sets it apart, exceeding the dimensions of typical fishing implements from that period. During the Chalcolithic period, Ashkelon and its surrounding region hosted numerous substantial settlements. The economic landscape of this time may not have been markedly distinct from the present day. Besides engaging in fishing activities, these communities relied predominantly on agricultural pursuits. This included the cultivation of essential crops like wheat, barley, legumes, and various fruit trees. Additionally, herding played a vital role in their sustenance, involving the rearing of animals like sheep, goats, and cattle. Destiny appeared to intervene, revealing a 3,300-year-old secret at Palmachim National Park near Tel Aviv, all thanks to a fallen rock. A rock shifted during construction, illuminating an intact burial collection approximately 2.5 meters beneath the surface. This accidental discovery unveiled an ancient archaeological treasure harkening back to the era of a notorious pharaoh referenced in biblical tales. A team of archaeologists embarked on a symbolic journey through time, exploring a cave untouched by human presence for over 3 millennia. The artifacts found within the cave offer a window into the late Bronze Age, closely aligning with the reign of the renowned biblical figure, Ramses II. A prominent figure among Egyptian monarchs during the Golden Age of Egypt, holds a position as the formidable third pharaoh of the 19th dynasty. His reign from 1279 to 1213 BCE stands as the second longest in Egyptian history. Renowned not only for his military campaigns against the Hittites and Libyans, Ramses II is celebrated for his ambitious building initiatives and the numerous colossal statues bearing his likeness dispersed across Egypt. Experts believe that the vessels found in the cave were likely imported from regions like Lebanon, Syria, and Cyprus, a practice commonly observed in burial collections of that era. The array of findings includes dozens of pottery vessels varying in size and shape, encompassing deep and shallow bowls, some adorned with red paint containing remains, cooking pots, jugs, and clay oil lamps with preserved burnt wicks. While certain organic materials may have decayed over the centuries, it is speculated that a quiver once held an assortment of bronze arrowheads or spearheads, which were also discovered within the cave. A tomb bearing a foreboding curse, warned in what appears to be blood, is something straight out of a movie plot. However, this became a reality during an archaeological excavation at an ancient cemetery in Beit Shirim, located in northern Israel. Inside a tomb dating back 1,800 years, a peculiar and ominous inscription in Greek served as a forewarning. It appeared that the individual interred within sought to ensure the eternal sanctity of their final resting place. The stone slab features 8 lines of text, culminating in the final words boldly inscribed in blood-red letters. Jacob Hagar swore to curse whoever opened this tomb so that no one would open it, for 60 years. Interestingly, and somewhat reassuringly, despite its ominous appearance, the message is composed not in blood, but scarlet paint. This tomb marker, discovered at the site, marks a significant historical finding, explicitly confirming the individual interred as a convert to Judaism, the first such confirmation found at this location. The inscription dates back to the late Roman or early Byzantine period, a time when Christianity was gaining strength. The tomb serves as compelling evidence of individuals expressing a desire to embrace the Jewish faith during this era. Regrettably, it appears that the tombstone had been detached from its grave by looters at some point after the burial, leaving the exact location of Jacob's final resting place a mystery. Regardless of his origins and the whereabouts of his remains, Jacob's ominous warning continues to echo through the ages, joining a compilation of epitaphs cautioning against disturbing the earthly remains of the departed. Given Israel's rich historical background, the potential for discovering archaeological treasures in the region is boundless. What other remarkable findings await us in this captivating country? Only time will unveil the secrets yet to be revealed. What are your thoughts about this? I hope you like our story. Until the next one.